As you begin to settle into a comfortable space, you may notice your attention starts to shift from the outside world to a deeper, more inner place. And it's almost as if, in this moment, everything around you can begin to fade just a little bit, as your mind starts to focus more and more on the thoughts that you're hearing, and how these thoughts might be like gentle waves, moving through your consciousness, guiding you, like soft clouds passing in the sky. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, it may seem as if the world outside is distant, and yet you can easily allow your mind to be open, curious and receptive, like a sponge soaking up just the right amount of understanding. There's something you can learn right now. You don't need to force anything, because your mind knows exactly how to make sense of things. Just like the waves of a river finding its course, finding new patterns to flow effortlessly. Now take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, imagine you're releasing any tension, any thoughts that no longer serve you. And as you do, your body feels just a little bit lighter, and your mind becomes open to new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking. Have you ever wondered how it feels to realize you don't have to know everything to connect with others? Have you noticed sometimes the more you allow others to share their knowledge, the more you realize how much there is to learn from each person that you meet? And in this realization, what happens is, in a sense, you can feel more connected to those around you. It's almost like finding a new channel for communication you didn't even know was there before. And what if, just for a moment, you allow yourself to let go of the idea that you need to be the one who knows the most? Because you see, when you allow others to bring their wisdom, you don't lose anything at all. In fact, you begin to gain. It's like a dance where each partner brings their own rhythm. And the beauty of the dance is how they blend, how they move together. Think of it this way. Imagine a time when you learned something valuable, something unexpected from someone else. Maybe it was something small, like a new perspective or a simple skill. But didn't that moment feel like a gift? Something you didn't have to create all by yourself. And now imagine the possibility that each time you open up to someone else, you're creating space for a gift to come to you. There's something truly powerful in being able to accept that someone else's knowledge can enrich your own. It's as though you have an infinite reservoir of possibility that expands every time you share the experience of listening with an open mind. And this process doesn't require effort. It simply requires you to allow. Just like a tree grows taller and stronger as it lets go of its leaves in the fall, so too can you grow stronger by letting go of the need to always be the expert. Notice how you can breathe more easily with that thought, because there's no pressure, no need to prove anything, just the awareness that others' knowledge is not a threat to you, it's a gift, like water flowing to nourish your own understanding. The more open you are to learning, the more you're able to receive, and the less you need to guard yourself from what's available to you. And now, as you begin to realize that this gift of knowledge from others, it doesn't take away from you, but rather it adds to you. You might find it fascinating that each time you listen with curiosity and respect, something magical happens. You create space for deeper trust. And isn't trust the foundation of every meaningful relationship? Think about how it feels when you feel trusted, when someone looks to you for guidance, and how that trust is built, not just by knowledge, but by the very willingness to listen, to respect the other's wisdom, and to allow it to flow freely between you. You see, trust is not something you can hold tightly in your hands. It's something that flows like a current. And when you stop trying to hold it back, it grows stronger, more powerful. And so, with each conversation, each interaction, you can decide that trust is no longer something you have to protect from others. Instead, it's something you can allow to grow, like a flower that opens gently to the sun. In this place of openness, there's no room for fear, for skepticism, for resentment. They can no longer stay, because trust fills that space completely. Trust in yourself, trust in others, and trust in the process of learning and growing. Notice now how you begin to feel lighter, because it's easy, isn't it, to relax into the idea that listening doesn't mean losing. It means gaining knowledge, gaining connection, gaining trust. And with that gaining, a part of you may feel more at ease, more comfortable with the idea that you don't have to know everything to be valuable, to be respected, to be trusted. In fact, isn't it true the most valuable conversations are those where you feel the connection, where you can exchange ideas freely without judgment, without the need to prove anything? Because it's almost as if, in this moment, you can let go of the weight of needing to be the one who knows it all, and instead begin to embrace the joy of discovering what you didn't know with ease and grace. As this awareness continues to settle into your mind, you might find that, little by little, your skepticism begins to melt away, and your trust in the wisdom of others grows stronger. It's a natural process, like the sun coming out from behind the clouds, warming you, helping you to feel safe, open, and receptive. And from this place, you can feel the connection with others begin to flourish. You can begin to bond more deeply, as you realize your worth is not measured by how much you know, but by your ability to listen, to understand, and to grow. And in this new way of thinking, the next time you feel someone's knowledge coming towards you, you can smile inside, knowing this is an opportunity to expand, to enrich, to connect. And as you continue to practice this, you'll notice it becomes easier and easier, natural even, because your mind is starting to believe it. And isn't that something truly wonderful? Knowing you don't have to know it all. The more you listen, the more you connect, the more you grow. You're already on your way to that place. And as you continue to allow these thoughts to settle into your subconscious, you'll find they begin to shape the way you experience the world. More open, more curious, more trusting. And it all feels so good. So good. And as you go about your day, you'll notice how easy it is to listen, to connect, to grow with others, effortlessly. Because that is who you are now. That is how you are. Just by letting go of the old ways, the new you is emerging, more open, more connected, more trusting, and more at peace than ever before. And as you relax even more deeply now, you might begin to notice how naturally your mind begins to open. Gently, almost effortlessly, as if the process is happening without you having to try. And as it happens, you may sense a soft, soothing shift, like the change in a season, where the world just gently eases into a new way of being. And this shift may feel completely natural, as if your thoughts are being gently guided into a new place, a new way of understanding. So just take a moment and feel how easy it is to allow your mind to be open and receptive. It's as if with every breath you take, you're opening a new door in your mind, a door to possibilities you may not have even considered yet, because as you allow the door to open wider, you find new perspectives, new ways of thinking that you didn't even have to search for. So imagine for a moment that with every breath, you're dissolving old beliefs. Beliefs that once told you that you have to be an expert, that you have to know it all. What if, just for a moment, you let go of the need to be the one with all the answers? And as you breathe out, you notice this belief starts to soften, to fade. It dissolves just like fog melting away in the warmth of the sun. And notice how, in this space, you no longer need to protect yourself from what others know. Isn't it interesting how, when you're not trying to hold onto what you think you need, you create room to receive? It's as if you've made space for others' knowledge to flow towards you. And that knowledge can flourish now. Just like sunlight nourishing a plant, making you grow taller, more confident, more open. And here's the secret. When you let others share their wisdom, when you truly allow them to teach you, you gain something that can never be taken away from you. You gain understanding, you gain perspective, you gain depth. Isn't it fascinating that just by listening, you can expand the world and feel more connected? Not just to others, but to yourself as well. Because when you let go of fear and skepticism, there's room for trust to grow, like seeds being planted in fertile soil. Now, you may begin to feel the deep truth that knowing everything is never necessary to feel valuable, to feel respected, to feel confident. You can start to realize deep down that in order to trust others, you don't have to know everything that they know. In fact, the more you listen, the more trust can flow naturally, like a river widening its way through the landscape. Trust grows stronger as you let go of any fear that someone else knowing more might diminish your own worth. And when trust flows, it feels safe, it feels powerful, and it feels freeing. So think for a moment about a time when you were listening to someone who had knowledge or experience that you didn't. And notice how, in that moment, your awareness expanded, just like a door swinging open, allowing a fresh breeze to flow in. Doesn't that feel energizing? Doesn't it feel natural? Like there's no pressure at all? Just a flowing exchange between you and someone else. It's almost as if, in that moment, you were connected, not by what you knew, but by what you were willing to discover together. Now, as you allow your mind to wander to these thoughts, you might notice a deep and peaceful sense of comfort that comes with the understanding that listening is a strength, not a weakness. That opening up to others' wisdom without hesitation is like creating a bridge between you and them. And when you cross that bridge, you're not losing anything. You're gaining more than you could have imagined. Every conversation, every exchange becomes a chance to grow together, to trust one another, to create something greater than what either of you could have created alone. It's almost as if this new way of thinking flows to you with ease. You might even notice each time you encounter someone who knows something you don't. Your response becomes less guarded, less fearful, and more curious. You might even start to smile inwardly as you realize the less you try to hold on to knowledge, the more you naturally find yourself connecting with others. And that connection feels so natural, so powerful, so comforting. And what if you begin to notice, the more you trust others to teach, the more you trust yourself to learn. It's like walking into a room that's always been there, but you've only just discovered it. And in that room, there's a feeling of endless possibilities. Like every new piece of knowledge that you gain is another step on a staircase that leads to more and more understanding, more and more trust. It's an upward spiral that takes you higher and higher. And with each new step, you feel more confident, more empowered, more open. Isn't it curious? The more you let go of the need to know everything, the more you begin to feel how much you do know. When you embrace the idea that others' knowledge enhances yours, you begin to notice how much you've already learned, how much you've already grown, and how easily that knowledge can integrate into your life. Just like the threads of a beautiful tapestry coming together. And as you continue to explore this idea, you might realize this shift in perspective, it doesn't just happen once. No, it's a process that continues unfolding, just like a flower that keeps blooming, petal by petal, effortlessly, naturally. And with each petal that opens, you can feel yourself growing more confident in your ability to listen, to trust, and to connect. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to strain to hold on to what you think you need. All you need to do is recognize that by opening yourself to others' wisdom, you make space for your own wisdom to grow, to expand, to evolve. Notice, too, how this shift is already happening inside you. How with each passing moment, you're becoming someone who's not just willing to listen, but excited to listen, to learn, to connect. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Almost like learning to ride a bike. At first it feels unfamiliar, but soon it feels natural, automatic, part part of who you are. The beautiful truth is, by allowing others to share what they know, by trusting in the process of learning from one another, you create a space for mutual respect, for deep connection, and for authentic growth. You might even begin to notice that, as you let go of old beliefs that kept you shut off, you become more open, more vibrant, more alive in your relationships and in your life. And as you continue on this journey, you may find each day brings new opportunities to listen with an open heart, to trust more deeply, and to grow in ways you couldn't have imagined before. Each person you meet becomes not a challenge to your knowledge, but an opportunity to learn, to share, and to bond. And as you begin to live from this place of trust, openness, and curiosity, you may find your relationships with others, they become more harmonious, more peaceful, more meaningful. It's as if this new way of being, everything aligns effortlessly, like the stars in the sky, and you can't help but feel lighter, freer, more connected to all those around you. You may even begin to notice that each time you allow yourself to listen and to grow, you're stepping into a new version of yourself, a version that's more open, more confident, and more connected than ever before. And as you embrace this new way of being, you'll find your life becomes richer, fuller, and more abundant, simply by allowing others to bring their wisdom, their knowledge, and their truth into the world. And with every breath, you find yourself more and more aligned with this new truth. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the expert. You just have to be open. Open to listening. Open to growing. Open to connecting. And as you continue on this journey, you'll notice that trust, connection, and openness, they're now becoming second nature. And with every moment, you're becoming more of who you've always been meant to be. Someone who listens, who learns, who trusts, and who bonds effortlessly with others. Isn't it amazing how much freedom there is in letting go? Letting go of the need to know it all. And how much more there is to gain when you open yourself up to the wisdom of others, knowing that each new connection, it only adds to your own.